Hello, good evening, and welcome everybody to the 57th Shanty Session.
I know.
We're still on?
I think we are.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know. Give us some someone's lost people. Yeah. Let us know if you.
Let's start again.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you see us? Let us know, won't you? Someone give us a quick comment. Can you hear us? Can you see us? We're sending out. We're on the camera. Yes,
Hey,
we're on
now
now.
good.
Thanks, and none other than Hoy Boy, a
Cheers, Pete.
wonderful shanty singer. Hoy Boy, if you are free this evening, why don't you join us? Listen, we've been talking about it a long time. I'm going to get my people to call your people, and since we've got no people, if you want to join us, just send us a quick message, and we'll give you the link to come in, and maybe you'd even regale our wonderful listeners with a sea shanty. Serious invitation, Hoy Boy. Anyway, where were we? We're talking about the song we're going to do. It's a contemporary four-bitter song. It's contemporary as they get in sea shanties. It was written in 1987 by a musician called Bob Watson. There is a local Bob Watson in Lowestoft. It's not him, although he is a fine musician himself. And we have a kind of a story behind this. In that, whenever we seem to perform this, we talk about the fact that the word mollymork or mollymach is the Dutch word or pronunciation for the albatross, and we somehow seem to get a Dutch person in our audience every single time we do this, and they go, no it's not. No, it's not at all.
It could just be old Mawkish Molly.
It could be, yeah. Well,
you know the
so yeah.
yeah.
So we have been told that mock or mork is the Dutch word for a cookie, not at all a bird or an albatross. And so it set us on a little path of research, because we like to when we introduce things, we like to get it right and be authentic. And it's actually the Swedish word for albatross. And anyway, let's give you this song. Give us some comments if our sound is okay and our visuals are okay. Not sure what happened then, but anyway, here we go. Oh, the Southern Ocean is a lonely place where the storms are many and the shelter's scarce. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn, On the restless waters and the troubling sky, there you'll see that mollymawk wheel and fly. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, White Seabird? Ride the wind and go, mollymawk. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn.
See the mollymawk riding on his wide white wings.
Yes.
And Lordy, what a lonesome song he sings.
Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn.
Now he's got no compass and he's got no gear. There's none can tell you how the mollymawk steer.
Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, White Seabird? Ride the wind and go, mollymawk. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. He's the ghost of a sailor man, so I've heard say. His body sank and his soul flew away. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. And he's got no haven and he's got no home, bound forevermore to wheel and roam. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, White Seabird? Ride the wind and go, mollymawk. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn.
When I get too weary for to sail no more, and my bones sink better far away from shore.
Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn.
You can cast me loose and leave me drifting free. I'm gonna keep that big bird company.
Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, White Seabird? Ride the wind and go, mollymawk. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, White Seabird? Ride the wind and go, mollymawk. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. So there you have it, the Mollymawk by Bob Watson, written 1987, and the word itself, Malamak or Mollymawk, is actually from the Sailor's Word Book by William Henry Smith, published by Blackie and Son in 1867. And we have decided that it truly is a Swedish word. And we laugh when we say that because so many times we've announced it very authoritatively. Is that the word? Authoritatively as being a Dutch word. But somehow there's been a Dutch person in the audience every single time, and they say it's not. It's not. Anyway, look, talking about words and their origins, and I did this in a very smooth link.
Oh, yeah.
Once every session, we choose a word from a wonderful book we have called Suffolk Words and Phrases, and this week's word is curl. Curl. And this was a book that was published by Edward Moore in 1872 because he kind of felt that many of his beloved Suffolk words, phrases, and and colloquialisms were in decline, and he wanted to stop that trend. And so he published this book. And once every session, we choose one that we don't think is in popular usage, and we ask you, that's you, to have a guess. Let us know what you think it might mean. So get in touch and have a guess, have a laugh, or take it seriously. It's fine, but don't cheat. And you know what? You can't win anything. So what's the point, really? But I guess there is a point. Anyway, look, Paul is gonna do some comments just while I grab the guitar.
Yes, I am. First up, Sarah Jordan says, "Good evening, everyone." Jackie Draper says, "Evening, everyone. What a beautiful day we've had. It has been a lovely day." And so says Marion Bouchette, all the way over in British Columbia. She says,
all of us.
Gorgeous spring day here too. Good evening, says Michelle Gallagher. And Sarah Jordan agrees with Jackie. That we have, Jackie. I even went out without a coat on.
Who said that?
Says Sarah Jordan.
Little devil.
Tom McQuillan says, "Warm greetings, everyone. Hope you're all well and enjoying a little sunshine. Evening, everyone," from Ben Southern. "Hello, me hearty," says Linda Boyce. "Evening, shipmates," says Kevin Tracy Bernard. And the Woods household joins us on YouTube, because don't forget, you can watch us on our Facebook channels, the Rogue Shanty Chorus, the Rogue Shanty Boys, or you could even join us on the Voice Cloud Facebook page. But if you prefer YouTube, and some people do, like the Woods household, catch us on our YouTube channel. They say, "Can't believe yet another week gone by. Hope everyone's fit and well." And what else do we have? "Hello, boys," says Tracy Barnard in her Best Wonder Bra advert impression. And who else do we have? Yes, we have Margaret Stebbins joining us.
Hello,
again,
Margaret.
From
Thanks.
Melbourne,
Thank you very
Australia.
much.
Well, you know what, Margaret? We have a song coming up just for our Antipodean friends, which includes you. So that'll be up a little bit later for all you bushrangers and larrikins.
Oh, very good. Yeah, and thanks, Margaret, for either staying up or getting up early. Staying up very late or getting up very early, one or the other. So thank you.
Evening, everyone, from Janice Marjoram. Dave Vanderbrooker joins us from the USA, and it's apparently Eat Anything You Want Day. I want to know when Eat Everything You Want Day is.
Yeah.
And Hoy Boy gives us 3 rounds of applause for the Mollywalk. Let us know if you want to join us tonight.
I know he has messaged actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and he does have an absolutely cast iron excuse. He's with the Hoy Shanty crew doing their folk sing around. So, but we'll get you on sometime, mate. We will get you on sometime.
We have a few guesses on the word of the week. Coral. Marion Bouchette wonders, does it mean the offspring of a mangy dog and a squirrel? I like
Very
that.
good, yeah.
Sarah Jordan ponders if it might be a rousing drinking session.
Mm,
Could be from now on. That's what I say.
yeah.
And Jude Bennett, or Bennett, says, "Well, they've had a rubbish day up in Manchester." Well, we are sorry about that, but not so sorry that we would share our good weather with our Mancunian friends.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about the Manx, not so far from there, Liverpool.
Hey,
See, it's all working very well tonight, isn't it? So we're going to do a song now. This is Round 1757 in the Roud Folk Index. That's good old Steve Roud, wonderful guy and a librarian from Croydon. There you go, some trivia for you. But this is Round 1757. It's called Maggie May, also known as Maggie May, but spelt differently, M-A-E. Instead of M-A-Y.
And she well may.
She well may.
As documented in the lyrics of the song. Yeah, she did.
Because this is a traditional Liverpool folk song. It's about a prostitute, a lady of ill repute, who robbed a homeward bounder. And a homeward bounder is a sailor who's coming home from a round trip. Now, there's a wonderful East Anglian folk singer called Jeff Ling, and he used to sing, apparently quite infamously, he used to sing this song at the Ship Inn in Blackstall, which is not so far from us. I mean, it's far enough away. It's near Snape Malting, so I guess from here it's about an hour away.
I mean, compared to Australia, for instance, not far at all for us.
Exactly. But more importantly, it's a Suffolk pub that has provenance as being one of the oldest folk pubs in the country, and a wonderful, wonderful folk pedigree of you name it, East Anglian and Southern singers.
Still to this day they sing. But of course, Jeff Ling was singing back in the early 50s and was documented and recorded as doing so. But this is the unofficial anthem of Scousland, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We're going to take the connection to Suffolk here, courtesy of a book that I can just see on my bookshelf called "The Fellowship of Song" by Jeanette Dunn, and she talks about the tradition of pub singing and pub sing-arounds in East Suffolk, which obviously is not just a Suffolk thing. Everyone used to do it, and some still do. But anyway, this is Maggie May. Let's bring lyrics up. Now come all you young sailors and listen to me plea. When you've heard me tell your pity me. For I was a fool in the port of Liverpool, very first time I came home from sea. Now I paid off at home from Sierra Leone, £3.10 a month it was me pay. But I wasted all me tin whilst drinking up me gin with a pretty little girl called Maggie May.
How well do I remember where I first met Maggie May? She was cruising up and down in Canning Place. She was dressed up mighty fine, like a frigate off the line. So being a young sailor I gave chase. I kept right on her track, she took the other tack. I caught her runner, broke her mizzen line. Next morning I awoke with a head more bent than broke. No coat, no vest, no trousers could I find. I asked her where they were, she said, "My good sir, they're down at Parkland Pawn Shop number 9. Number 9? You've had your cake and bun, it's time for you to run, or you'll never make the docks at Lud in time. To the pawn shop I did go, but me trousers didn't show. The police came and took that girl away, The judgy guilty found her, of robbing her homeward bound her, so now she's doing time in Botany Bay. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they've taken you away. No more to roam alone down Canning Place. For you robbed too many whalers and poxed too many sailors. Now you'll never see old Lime Street anymore. Poor old Maggie May. There you go. Always works slightly better, I guess, with a tuned guitar. We may even remedy that for the next song, but we make no promises. No, we do not. Anyway, Paul's going to check in, or maybe I will actually. I'm going to pop back to our word of the week, actually.
Yes.
Because I won't mind a few more guesses on this word. Hey, you heard it, Billy. The Suffolk word.
We've had a great.
Oh, Sally. Have you heard the word? Everybody's talking about the word. The word is curl.
Yeah.
Curl or curl.
And look, Sarah Jordan's had a good guess, and she knows about such things, so she could well be right. I'd be inclined to sort of listen to what she's saying.
Yeah, well, you tell me what she's saying. She's already guessed that.
But, have you already said it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
But Tracy and Kev Barnard wonder, could curl be a tarpaulin cover for sails, otherwise a coverall? Oh, that's good.
Very
coverall,
good, yeah.
A coverall. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Kev.
And certainly Kev and Tracy, that sounds like Suffolk logic as well. So that sounds plausible. It's another great word, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Yeah, it is. Anyway, let's. I think we're going to give you.
I tell you what. Let's go to one that's not in our repertoire.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mentioned this. Gave you a little tantalising teaser because we were joined by Margaret Stebbing. Not quite yet.
Not that.
No. Talking of Botany Bay, as we did about Maggie May and where she's going to be sent, and talking about Margaret Stebbing, who joins us from Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to this song called Bound for Botany Bay. And it's a very old song, goes back to the 1800s. It was one for the music halls, but actually had an earlier provenance with a different song that kind of mutated and evolved into this one. And was very popular. Even Burr Lives had a crack at this.
Oh, Burr Lives.
Yeah, good old Burr Lives.
Yeah.
But it was just to make further reference to Margaret. This was staged in 1886 in Melbourne, Australia. for a show written by Henry Pottinger Stevens. And as I said, 1820 was the original provenance to it. Farewell to old England forever. Farewell to my rumcles as well. Farewell to the well-known Old Bailey, where I used to forecut such a swell. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Singing to rely-a-rely. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Oh, we're bound for Botany Bay. Tain't leaving old England we cares about. Tain't 'cause we misspells what we knows, but because all we light-fingered gentry hops around with a log on our toes. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Singing to rely-a-rely. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Oh, we're bound for Botany Bay. There's the captain as is our commander. There's bosun and all the ship's crew. There's first and the second class passengers. Knows what we poor convicts goes through. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Singing to rely-a-rely. Sing to rely-a-diddy. We're bound for Botany Bay. Oh, had I wings of a turtle dove, I'd soar on the pinion so high, slap bang to the arms of my Polly love, in her sweet presence I'd die. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Singing to rely-a-rely. Sing to rely-a-diddy. Oh, we're bound for Botany Bay. Now all you young dukies and duchesses, take warning from what I've to say. Mind all is your own as you touchesses, or you'll find us in Botany Bay. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Singing to rely-a-rely. Sing to rely-a-diddy. Oh, we're bound for Botany Bay. Singing to rely-a-diddy. Singing to rely-a-rely. And all you bushrangers and larrikins on the shores of the Botany Bay. As I said, we sing that for all of our Antipodean friends. Now, Botany Bay was, of course, the very first destination when ships began to land in Australia, and then became a penal colony where people would be sent, instead of serving time in Britain, they'd serve a 7-year stretch in Botany Bay, Australia. That's where we sent convicts there, and the passage was extremely rough. You can imagine they didn't particularly put on much of a sailing for convicts, and rough it was anyway.
Much like the Reedham Ferry near to
Bless
me.
boy.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to bring you now a little excerpt from a wonderful book called A Suffolk Calendar by Alan Jobson. Alan Jobson was a Suffolk native and author of a lot of books, actually, particularly books that concern themselves with Suffolk. Suffolk Yesterdays, This Suffolk, Northeast Suffolk, Household and Country Crafts in Suffolk, A Window in Suffolk, Under a Suffolk Sky. The list goes on. And I'm just reading actually a description about Alan Jobson's books by a publication called The Field. And it says, those who had the luck to know the old East Suffolk of 50 years ago, this was published in 66, will welcome Alan Jobson's book. It is a lost world which was well worth reviving. All who have lived in East Anglia will enjoy this rambling and charming miscellany. Now, it's basically a tourism service. You know, if there's any Suffolk organisations out there that would like to give us some money for promoting Suffolk and making it seem so beautiful and bucolic, we'll very happily take your dosh. But I'm going to read something from now A Suffolk Calendar by Alan Jobson, because in a couple of days, May 13th, traditionally and rurally within Suffolk and rural locations. The day was Midsummer's Day. May 13th was observed as Midsummer's Day, and we have a very local ballad or reading to share with you. And it says here in his book. There was one old lady who would walk 2 miles to a certain field wearing her pattens and gather cowslips. These she would make into a ball and throw them over her cottage roof, reciting a rhyme, the words of which have been lost. Now, I'm going to try and pronounce these. This is actually, he says underneath, this is, I don't know if you can quite see that, but on an old brass in Pakefield. I hope he means a brass plaque rather than the subject of our previous song, but I'm going to try and read it because it's printed phonetically in old Suffolk kind of pronunciation, I guess. Al shall we hen weder no when may no man ken but God above. For other we car hen shall we far. Al poor and bar, thus says John Bouth. And they're as mentioned on an old brass in Pakefield. So there you go. 2 days' time, it is Midsummer's Day. So we thought we'd share that because we love that book. In fact, we love all things Suffolk. But that was the day that we are observing today, Midsummer Day, which is actually not today, but in 2 days. Confusing much? I think so. Anyway, look, I'm just going to do a couple of comments. I think.
Yeah, a few in.
Yeah.
Starting with
Sarah Jordan, you were lucky if you made it as far as boarding the convict ship, especially if you were held in a prison hulk. That sounds a bit worrying. Pat Briggs says, that took me back. We used to sing that at school, which was many moons ago. Thanks, Paul, for the memory. Yeah. Pat Briggs says, should point out it was the chorus, I remember. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Alice Quayle says, me too. One of my ancestors from Staffordshire was a convict in Botany Bay and set up a pottery factory after release. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Have you done Michelle's comment?
Nope.
No. Michelle says, my mum researches our family history. She found out that we had ancestors that went to Botany Bay. Wow. Amazing. And then obviously Alice's comment, which came in after Michelle, says, me too. And we've read that.
Yeah, I actually first came across that song years ago in a play called Female Transport, which was all about female convicts being taken to Botany Bay. And it really dramatised the very harsh conditions they faced. Terrible conditions. But a wonderful play if you ever get the chance to see it, Female Transport. And I have very fond memories of it.
And talking about terrible conditions, if you would like to join us in our terrible conditions on Zoom, you'd be very, very welcome to. We start a Zoom session at 8:30 till 9 p.m. So instead of, as we did last year throughout 2020, instead of broadcasting till 9 p.m, we stop at 8:30, which is roughly 32.5 minutes, and we head on over to Zoom just to make something a bit more social. If you'd like to join us, please consider joining us. Please do it. You are not sent out to all and sundry. You're not live streamed or broadcasted or webcasted or any of that malarkey and jazz. You just come into a private setting where we can have a chat, say hello, and you're welcome to come and chat or just sit there and see other people if you haven't seen people for a while. If you want to join, as it says, just kind of at the bottom of the screen moving along, join us on Zoom and you can get the details from www.thevoicecloud.co.uk/Zoom, and the link and everything else is there. Anyway, look, we're going to do a song now. This is the Sailor's Funeral song. It's not the obvious choice because most people either go for Fiddler's Green or the Padstow Farewell, but this is a beautiful song and much less known. It's based around 1870. At least the music is. The lyrics were written much later in 1930, but the music was composed by Joseph Lincoln Hall, and it's well, I think the song completely speaks for itself. So we're gonna go straight into it.
Are you one or two?
I'll do the repeat.
Okay.
Beyond the sea that rolls between this world of care and things unseen, there is a land of endless day where all our tears are wiped away.
Beyond the sea,
Beyond
the restless rolling sea.
Beyond the sea.
I hear my loved
Hear my
ones
loved
gently calling
ones gently
me.
calling me.
I soon shall live.
I soon shall
above
live
the shores of
above the
time.
shores of time.
And dwell forever.
And dwell
in God's
forever.
celestial climb.
Celestial climb. Beyond the sea lies Heaven's fair shore, where all our sins and cares are o'er, where care and toil have passed away, where weary feet no more shall stray. Beyond the sea, beyond
the restless rolling sea.
Beyond the sea,
I hear my loved
hear my loved ones
gently calling me. I soon shall live.
I soon shall
above
live
the shores of time.
above the shores of time.
And dwell forever.
And dwell
in God's
forever.
celestial
God's celestial climb. No more shall beat the flood of years across these forms so frail and worn. No more shall roll the sea of tears across these hearts by anguish torn.
Beyond the sea,
Beyond
the restless rolling sea.
Beyond the sea,
I hear my loved ones
gently calling me.
I soon shall live.
I soon shall
above
live
the shores of time.
above the shores of time.
And dwell forever.
And dwell
in God's
forever.
celestial
climb. Beyond the sea, there's rest and peace. There Jesus bids his children come. Beyond the sea, the tempest cease. Their angels sing a welcome home.
Beyond the sea, the restless rolling sea.
Beyond the sea,
I hear my loved ones gently calling me. I soon shall live. Above the shores of time.
Above the shores of time.
And dwell forever. In God's celestial climb. Beyond the sea, the restless rolling sea.
Beyond the sea,
I hear my loved ones gently calling me. I soon shall live. Above the shores of time.
Above the shores of time.
And dwell forever. In God's celestial climb.
So there you have it, Beyond the Sea. And what I should mention is that's actually a transatlantic communal song, because Joseph H. Lincoln put together the composition of the song, the music, in between 1866 and 1869, so pre-1870, and it wasn't until around 1930 that Frank Mashaw, and he was in America, Joseph H. Lincoln, Frank Mashaw, an English clergyman who was a preacher in Bethel's, of which Lowestoft had one, up until had a worshipping community up until about, I'd say, probably 15 years ago, when the local Amateur Dramatics Society bought the building and used it as a performance space and a rehearsal venue. But Frank Mashaw, who was a clergyman, wrote the lyrics. So not just 60 years later, but also on the other side of the Atlantic. So quite curious history to that song, really. Anyway, look, there's a couple of things I'm going to mention. I think Paul's about to head down and talk about some comments, maybe.
Yes, first from Alice Quayle says, Midsummer here is June/July. Here it's Beltane. Way, Beltane, early May. And happy Beltane to anyone that was recently celebrating it, especially you Glastonbury folk.
Yes.
Paul Graham Thomas said, enjoyed Botany Bay, tapped into a distant memory of the song. And Sarah Jordan says, Alice, Midsummer here now is 21st of June, but ancient Suffolk always were a bit out of step. Michaelmas in most places is end of September. Here it was early October. In fact, you can still find references to it in some ways. I wonder, Sarah, if that might be something to do with the farming calendar and things getting pushed around for harvest and whatnot.
I should say as well. Old Alan Jobson does say May 13th was observed as Midsummer Day by some old ladies in Suffolk. One old lady in particular would walk 2 miles to a certain field and then I read the rest earlier on, and along with the poetry or the something that accompanied it. So yeah, I guess we should recognise that it's not the official date, but it's certainly the Suffolk date. So that's the important one.
Marion's offered 4 rounds of applause for our overlapping bits. Michelle Gallagher, 4 rounds of applause as well. 3 from Sarah Jordan says, beautiful guys. Thank you very much. Too kind. I tell you what, Stephen, have you got any songs that are a little bit more, how shall we say, particular to Polynesian islands?
I might have, but I can't find.
No, I wonder where it's gone.
Yeah. I tell you what, why don't you do one, the old Dave Van Ronk thing, and I'll look for it.
Okay.
Just because I need the chord chart.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little demonstration and see if I can mess this up. Pretty sure I have already. Okay, so this song is called Haul the Bowlin', or Haul on the Bowlin', and the bowlin', or bowline as it's written, is a kind of a, well, it's not just a knot, but it's a rope that had a particular line that hasn't been used for some centuries now, but the bowline knot goes back long. So because we're not sailors, we're musicians of sorts, I'm going to demonstrate on an XLR lead rather than a rope, which would be much easier. So you take a line, you rotate like so. So the piece that's hanging down comes in front to make the knot. You bring your loose end up through the hole you've created and underneath the trailing end. You then bring it up and pull it down back through the hole. And then you hopefully have a bowline or a bowline. Perhaps you can't see it very well because it's quite a pretzel. And there we go, that looks better. And the XLR lead doesn't want to do as it's told, but I can assure you that is a bowline knot. But this is more about the particular line of rope that was used to tie the forestay, I believe. Are you able to overlap this?
Overlap what?
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this is number 63,
and
we're going to demonstrate. We're going to display the lyrics.
Yeah, we will. Look, there's a lot of tech going on tonight, and we're succumbing to it. We're giving up basically because we're not very good at multitasking. There's a lot going on. If you could only see, I don't know.
Haul on the bowline, the long-tailed bowline. Haul the bowline, the bowline.
Haul on the bowline, the bully ships are rolling. Haul the bowline, the bowline.
Haul on the bowline, Kitty, you're my darling. Haul the bowline, the bowline.
Haul on the bowline, Kitty comes from Liverpool.
Hey.
Haul the bowline, the bowline.
Haul on the bowline, the old man is a growling. Haul the bowline, the bowline.
Haul on the bowline, it's a far cry to payday. Haul the bowline, the bowline. Haul. So not only is that our oldest song, it's considered considered the oldest shanty. If anyone ever says to most people, let's get rid of these lyrics, what is the oldest shanty? Most people will say Drunken Sailor, but in actual fact, that is the song by some considerable amount of time as well. But not only is that our oldest song, it's also our shortest song.
Shorty.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about something that we have coming up, and if I can find it here to display, I can't work this laptop out, but that's fine. Now there is a project that the organisation that Paul and I run, which is called the Voice Cloud, is running. So the Voice Cloud is running a project called Connections, and Connections is a free to attend how-to series of unique and different skills that you can obtain and we are doing these on a monthly basis. As I say, they are free to attend. Last month we had how to recognize wildlife sounds and bird sounds with the sound recordist, and this month we've got learn about forest gardening with a horticultural therapist, Thomas Erskine, and a guardian colonist nonetheless. If you'd like to join in with that, it takes place on Zoom, but we are limited to how many spaces we have, so register soon. And to do that, you go to thevoicecloud.co.uk/connections. So that's all you need to do. So that's all we're gonna mention about that one. And I'm going to talk now a little bit about a song that we love.
Oh, we do love this one, mainly because it's repetitive.
Yeah, but this is a sea shanty that originates from the whaling ships of the 19th century in the Pacific Ocean, and it was a long haul shanty. And I guess, given the understandable and quite right sort of social and political attitudes right now, both in many senses, this song is a little bit, or it's kind of thought that this song might have fallen out of favor, or it would not be appropriate for people to sing it. But we actually challenge that, because this is actually based on an Hawaiian word, and the song, I guess I should explain, is John Kanaka, and it's thought that actually that was a slur by white sailors to Hawaiian folk, Hawaiian men in particular. And we've done a bit of research, and we arrived on the decision that absolutely wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. It's actually based on the Hawaiian word for Hawaiian man, which is Kanaka. And the Hawaiians were actually renowned for their excellent seamanship, and English-speaking sailors often had difficulty pronouncing not just the actual Hawaiians' names, but the names of the islands, the names of all their language, really. So they just called them in a very respectful way Kanaka, which is, as we say, the Hawaiian name for Hawaiian man. And the lyrics that we use in this song as well, Tulae, also come from the Hawaiian language. And there was actually quite a tradition between Hawaiians and white sailors for shanty singing, combining the music and the language of both those cultures, but different seafaring cultures as well. And Stan Hugel, a Welshman, he actually talks about the fact that he learned this from a wonderful West Indies singer. And since we've got Margaret Stebbings on from Australia, in Australia, Kanaka was the term given to islanders who were stolen away into Australia to work like slaves, usually in the cane fields. So that's an international song you've got there, because we've got the very obvious Hawaiian input. We've got white folks. We've got Stan Hugel being a Welshman, the Australian, the West Indies guy who taught it to Stan Hugel. And here's the song. A little bit of fun we have with it. And have I got a plectrum? Yes. Maybe I have one of them as well. Let's change the key. Thought I heard the old man say, John Kanaka Naka Turai. Today is a sailing day. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Turai, oh, Turai. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Turai, oh, Turai. John Kanaka Naka Turai. We'll work tomorrow, but not today. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Today is a holy day. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Turai, oh, Turai. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Turai, oh, Turai. John Kanaka Naka Turai. We're bound away for Bristol Bay. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Bound away at the break of day. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Turai, oh, Turai. John Kanaka Naka Turai. Turai.
to-ri-eh, oh, to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. We're bound away around Cape Horn. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. We wish to Christ we'd never been born. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. To-ri-eh, oh, to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. To-ri-eh, oh, to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. Oh, haul and haul away. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. Haul away and make your pay. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. To-ri-eh, oh, to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. To-ri-eh, oh, to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh. John Kanaka to-ri-eh.
Yeah, so no lyrics to that because it's not in our repertoire. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not in the Rogue Shanty chorus repertoire. So anyway, look, I'm going to do a few comments, I think. We're going to see.
There's some Ruid comments in there.
Yeah, is there some Ruid ones?
Ruid.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of them. Where have you got to?
The Ruid ones.
Where are they?
They're rude about my knots.
Oh, okay, yeah. The mic is in the way. Didn't really see the bowline knot or the bowline knot. I'm I'm glad you did that demonstration behind the microphone. Love that the Isle of Man didn't knuckle down under the calendar changes. Pat Briggs says takes me back, I guess she means, to when I ran Cubs and we taught the boys knots. Sally Hardman says, lovely. Thank you, Sally. And Paul Graham Thomas says, short and old, still cuts it. And David Janet Wood says, I think perhaps Bundle of Buggers would be a more appropriate name for your knot. Try the rabbit tree hole method. You got this. No, I'm going to check that because I think that's a link that we can't bring onto the screen there. So never mind. But anyway, look, a few more comments still. Alex Quell says, we just double up. We're modern now, but for a long time we had two Christmases. Well, why not? Why not? Tom McQuillan says, why are you singing the Irish chorus? Stan is rolling in his grave.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's the difference between two lie and two right.
We did follow Stan's lead by giving it a long introduction.
Yeah.
A long introduction.
He does.
And messing up the melody. There you go. And then Sarah Jordan says, I'm all for doubling up, pack in as many celebrations as possible. And then a couple of claps there from Michelle and from Sarah. So thank you very much. So how we do it for time? Look, we've got a grand total of about 12 minutes and 50 seconds, and then we will be heading over to Zoom. So if you haven't ever joined us on Zoom, you think, I don't know.
Do it tonight.
I don't know. Why not come and join us? Please come and join us. All we do, it's nothing too serious. It's nothing to worry about. It's nothing too official either. We just kind of hang out there for exactly 30 minutes from 8:30 p.m. until 9. And if you want to join us, we've put the details on at thevoicecloud.co.uk/Zoom, including the passcode. So don't come on and troll us or be naughty or inappropriate or anything, because we'll just have to put you straight back into the waiting room. But do join us, won't you? Anyway, should we give them another song?
I think we should. We're contractually obliged.
What should we give them?
A song. Let's go for The Drunken Sailor, shall we?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it needs no introduction, but we mentioned it earlier.
So we'll just do it then.
What shall we do?
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 What shall we do
With a drunken sailor?
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
What shall we
What
do?
shall we do?
What 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 shall we
with a
do
drunken
with a
sailor?
sailor? Hooray and up she rises. Hooray and up she rises. Hooray and up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. There you go. So that's based on an arrangement by Paul, an original one, or certainly it was the original from the person who stole it off anyway. Yeah. And I think we're going to do. Have we got anything else to mention? I don't think we do. We?
No. Just we've mentioned connections. We've mentioned the Zoom chat, the Shanty chat after this session.
Yeah.
I suppose we could mention again, and we really should mention again, that we are supported financially and with guidance and good measure from People's Health Trust. They fund us through the Active Communities Programme, and this has enabled us to work with people of all ages, from 2 years old to 90 years young, from all walks of life and with all kinds of abilities when it comes to music, from accomplished musicians to those just beginning to explore their love of music, particularly the folk genre of sea shanties.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't donate to us. And some people often ask about that, and not just ask about that, but also tell us off if we don't mention it. So we're going to. You can donate at www.paypal.me/online choir. And if you do donate to that link, it does come. It comes into the voice cloud, but we just make sure that it is used for the Rogues Shanty Chorus and nothing else. Okay. So if you'd like to donate and show your appreciation, please do. Or if you want to donate to something else, that would be equally marvelous. And if it's got nothing to do with us, but it's a cause close to your own heart, then we'd be very happy with that too. So I think we've said enough, but maybe there's time for one or two more songs. Yeah. Have you got anything planned, or shall I have a look?
You have a look, and I'll sing a song.
Okay, go on. You sing a song.
Now, this song I stole from Sean Dager, who's doing some fabulous work actually, with his shanties of the week, and this is called "So Early in the Morning." It's also known as "The Sailor Loves His Bottle-O," or "The Sailor Likes His Bottle-O," or sometimes just simply "Bottle-O." It was sung at Halyards as well as Capstan and Pumps. When there were new crew on board that didn't have experience or familiarity with many of the shanties that they might have to work to and haul to and pump to, the shantyman would sometimes start with a chorus as an introduction, just to give them a bit of a heads up and an in. And our improvisation, as with most shanties, was prominent in this song. A versatile shantyman could bring in anything and everything that a sailor might be likely to love. So not just bottle-os, but tobacco, all those kind of things. Often the crew might sing the chorus unchanged throughout, but also they might put in what was particular to the verse. So if the shantyman sang about tobacco, so would the sailors. The mate was drunk and he went below to take a swig at his bottle-o. So early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o, the bottle-o, the bottle-o. Sailor likes his bottle-o. Early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o. A bottle of rum, bottle of gin, a bottle of Irish whiskey-o. So early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o, the bottle-o, the bottle-o. Sailor likes his bottle-o. So early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o. A packet of shag, a packet of cut, a plug of hard tobacco. Early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o, the baccio, tobacco. The sailor loves his baccio. Early in the morning, sailor likes his bottle-o. A lass from Poole, a girl from the Tyne, a chowler so fine and dandy-o. Early in the morning, sailor likes his bottle-o, the lassie-o, the maiden-o. Sailor loves the duties-o. Early in the morning, sailor loves his bottle-o. Tread on me coat, all hands in, a bully good rough and tumble-o. Early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o. A bully rough house, the sailor likes his rough house-o. Early in the morning, sailor loves his bottle-o. A drinking song, a song of love, a ditty of seas and shipmates-o. Early in the morning, the sailor likes his bottle-o. A sing-song-o, a sing-song-o. The sailor likes a sing-song-o. Early in the morning, sailor likes his bottle-o. His bottle-o, his bottle-o. The sailor likes his bottle-o. early in the morning, sailor likes his bottle low. And I think we've got another fantastic song, this time coming from, despite the title, I think this one actually comes from the Caribbean, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah, this one actually, this is Route 207, which is strange for a non-English song to be so highly ranked in the Roud Folk Index. But it's a windlass shanty, and it's the earliest field recording is from 1935. Alan Lomax recorded along with a lady called. It's very easy to forget the extra people who do this work, but Mary Elizabeth Barnacle, true name apparently, and it was sung by Henry Lundy and Pappy, and released on an album that Lomax put together, or curated rather. Curated, not created, but maybe created as well. And the album was called Deep River of Song. He recorded the guys, at least originally, came from Nassau Town, the Bahamas. We do more than one or two songs that originate from Nassau Town. But before we do that song, I am going to tell you what our Suffolk words and phrases word is. The word is curl. Curl. And I'm going to read it out to you because it's a wonderful explanation to this, and it means a rill or drain or diminutive run of water, compounded probably of current and rill. Drindle is nearly the same, but from our neighbours in Norfolk, and is also the bed of such a curl or a small furrow. So there you have it. I don't know if anybody was that close to that one, really, in terms of any guesses. But
No.
we
did have a good guess that I don't think we mentioned, which was could it mean coracle? But it doesn't.
That was a great guess, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, we're going to head over to Zoom straight after this song. So if you'd like to join us, please do. Thanks for tuning in. This was episode 57, and we're back next week, Tuesday, the 18th of May, with episode 58. But as soon as this finishes, we're going to head over to Zoom. Please consider joining us just to say hello and have a bit of chat, just for 30 minutes strictly, and then we boot you all out. But anyway, this is a song called Round the Bay of Mexico. We're going to pop the lyrics up. Round the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, when I was young and in me prime, way up Louisiana, pretty gals came around in line. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, them Nassau gals don't wear no comb. Way up Louisiana, comb their hair with a kipper backbone. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, now I'm old and going gray. Way up Louisiana, pretty gals walk the other way. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, yeah, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico. Thank you very much. Look, we are. Do you know what? We're going to finish early tonight. I don't think we've done that in a long, long time. But thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be here again next week. Come and join us on Zoom, won't you? Come and say hello on Zoom. We'll see you there. Thank you very much, and that's it. See you all later. I'm waiting for Paul to put a thing on.
Wait.
I don't know. There you go. I'll do it.